Hello, welcome to another episode of Stanton Gossip. We did not skip this time. Points.
You had power
points.
this time.
Yeah. Okay, so for those who don't know, Stanton Gossip is like a shorter video that we do every Wednesday about media that happens around Star Citizen, regardless of what it is, whatever we find interesting and want to share with you guys. So usually YouTube videos, but also interesting tweets, Reddit stuff, yeah, whatever we find or you guys present to us. Again, for those who don't know, every Sunday we actually do a long ass podcast, or for Reddit crowd, YouTube talk show.
Yeah.
And that's 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even more, every week. It's free entertainment. If you want to check it out, it's on our page. You can go and check it out. All right, so it was an interesting week, and not that much has been happening within the game.
Still waiting on the patch. Yeah,
everyone's like playing either PT or New World, and I mean, from streamers and content creators, but there was enough for us to make an episode, kind of. And
totally. Actually, we have more content this week than we have in previous weeks, for sure.
Yeah, especially more than previous week, because we don't even do it. Okay. So
Oh yeah, I guess so.
The first one, actually, we're gonna start with Mr. Discolando himself. He's I still don't like, I always mix his title. He's
Director of
public
video content. I don't even remember now. He's got quite the title.
He's not a community manager, that's for sure, but like he's head of community management or whatever department, and he's in charge of or engage, something like
video,
that.
Global video content, I think, is in there.
If we do something or say something wrong, or especially if I do, keep in mind it's like 40 plus Celsius where I am, and I have all the lights on so that we can look pretty. And yeah, I might screw up some things. It's not intentional.
Well, you look pretty, but let's keep going.
So
actually, I suppose I'm the pretty one. If you look at our like our YouTube thumbnail, I have the tiara.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But yeah, this one doesn't have it. But yeah. All right. So this Colando is really, if you're watching our show, you're probably following him by this time, because he's hilarious. Like, his tweets are really, amusing and
really entertaining.
Yeah, this time it was no difference. We are also guilty of kind of not agreeing with how he gets his questions or our questions answered quite often. And so basically he just said, next time someone tells me I need to work on my communication skills, he's gonna bring up another tweet that I'm not gonna say what it is, because I want you guys to click on it and check it out. But it's actually quite interesting. But yeah, you definitely want to check it out. As usual, he's very funny in the way he says things. And then on that same level, we had Salty Mike, one of the biggest creators.
I submitted this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but Mike's quitting Star Citizen, so just check the link and follow the link in the tweet.
It's crazy, like people who replied immediately, Tyler and Darklaw, Tracy, Lightning Sparrow, and it's so good.
I mean, no, it's
it's a silly one, but click on it.
It's serious.
It's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take the other one, because
so Paul Shelley of the Astropub had a not spontaneous, but a bonus captain's table, where he got a panel of ED commanders over who are playing Star Citizen right now, and Star Citizen, they're creating content for Star Citizen, and it was really good. Like, definitely worth checking out. It's like a change of pace from your typical kind of like captain's table, and that's why we felt like we should mention it here, because it's really interesting to hear some different opinions, some different perspectives on Star Citizen, kind of some comparisons, with between kind of like the development styles and kind of the results of the development styles from the perspectives of people who've spent thousands of hours in SC and also thousands of hours in ED as well. And yeah, it was that was really interesting actually. I can't recommend this more. This is the link that'll be in the description is to the initial episode, but there's a follow-up episode with the Q&A section as well, which I recommend checking out.
Sometimes more fun than the actual episode, usually much longer. I want to say something though.
Yeah, it's tough to say in this case because like both the Q&A and the discussion section were both really good. So yeah.
So when we were thinking about getting someone from ED, and I kind of want to say like we were probably the first Star Citizen show that brought someone, with Dave. That was really a lot of fun. No, but it doesn't matter really. But obviously we are all curious about their opinion and why is this happening and all that, not like to point out, and it's just like an interesting phenomenon that's kind of happening in the space game genre. That's all. But I never even thought about the Enterprise, who is one of the guests there. He's been streaming Star Citizen, like he's now a known Star Citizen streamer. And I know that he came from ED. I know, but I never like now in this wave of people coming here, I never even thought about him. So it's really cool that Paul, remembered and brought him as like almost a veteran refugee kind of. Yeah, although I don't see him like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like he's one of us.
No. Yeah. He's been on Captain's Table before. Yeah, but you could tell when he was on there, like he was still like, I would say you could tell he was pretty new to SC and like and the development. Like this, he was on this panel and he very clearly was in his element because he definitely has like a good perspective on somebody who's created content heavily from ED and then switched to Star Citizen. And it was a good episode for sure.
Cool. Okay, so the next one, it was Board Gamer and Xenia making their hot take podcast, YouTube talk show, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is something that they do now. And before we, actually, let's go with it. Like the reason we brought this one up is week in, week out, we like kind of grow to like this format that they're doing, and we were kind of iffy about it at the beginning because it didn't really sound
definitely iffy when they first kind of started doing this because like you could tell that Zin like was kind of like obviously new to the project and really uncomfortable.
Well, that's
the conversation didn't really flow very well, and it was mostly kind of like Board. I felt like Board was like having to lead with questions and stuff like that, and it didn't really feel. And I was skeptical. Personally, about,
I just want to say, like when we talk about this, it's us as consumers. This has nothing to do, as us as content creators, whatever. Both of us watch and listen to a lot of SC material, and obviously, if you are in it, you know about Board Gamer and what he does. And it felt like they're kind of out of place, or like Board wanted to do something but didn't really know how, or maybe it was just on our end until they actually clicked in, maybe he had the idea. I mean, he's obviously a proper, really good content creator. He knows what he's doing. I'm not trying to diminish that. But also, Xenia is probably feeling more and more comfortable, like in the whole.
I think that's that, right? And like now that this episode's out, and you can hear kind of their chemistry. Like you can hear the fact that they've been friends for a long time. I see now kind of what Board was trying. I think, anyways, what Board was trying to get going, because like clearly behind the scenes, like they've been friends for a long time and they have that rapport. Like they call each other on their shit and stuff like that, and that really has started to come through in these later videos. So yeah,
I like what they're doing now, and this one. I mean, they're talking about 314 PTU and what is bringing to the worst. I don't think they're coming with any hot takes or anything new.
No,
everyone's
no.
talking about the same stuff, but you know, if it's we are liking two of the, it's like half an hour. Really interesting thing to hear. At the end, I got a little bit bummed because Ford has gone through some really rough times with his hardware, and it's never good to hear. I mean, nothing happened to his hardware. He ordered 3090 or 3080. I don't even know.
3080, but it's just like it's just shitty to hear people like companies that are supposed to be, you know, like reputable dealers of you know, hardware being shady.
The
about,
whole thing
you know,
about GPUs nowadays, man, like it's
Yeah.
just crazy. But yeah, if you're into that stuff as well, or if you had any issues, we know Dave got his bricked for like second time, and now
but apparently EVGA has been like really good. He got his
they've been
new one
replacing
already.
it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I have this conversation a lot, especially lately when I stream New World and people come to me and I'm like, wait, before you try, which card do you have? You know, because I want to tell people what's happening regardless, so that they know, because a lot of people don't follow all the news and everything, you know. And people are blaming the game, and I'm like, sure, the game is to blame, but if EVGA is actually replacing every bricked card, they know they screwed up something. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like if it was, they would easily. Like, I mean, listen, these are 3080s, 3090s. That's not like something that they can just throw off.
No, but this is something that this was something where, if you've been following hardware news, there was actually some
happening in our games as well, right?
This, before New World came around. You know, it's issues, I think, with subpar capacitors, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. I think they pull more power than they should be, or something like that.
Yeah,
but anyway,
they're basically pop. I mean, they're doing a good job of.
I'm glad their customer support is good. Does not happen with every company, especially not where I'm from.
No.
Cool. All right. So, the next one is basically nothing now, but it might become something really big in the future. And we said we were gonna do this, but we never did actually, and we got to sit down and do that like 10-minute video or something like that, where we tell you guys what tools are we using outside of Star Citizen. And one of these tools that a lot of Star Citizen players are using, it has a really tricky name. It's called Starship 42, which is a ship viewer basically. And it's just like Star Citizen
visualizer, fleet visualizer, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, but it's not very well optimized, just like Star Citizen. So like for example, for me, like if I use it during the stream, it can kill my stream and stuff like that. And
it's chunky on my machine too, and I don't have like a top end machine, but I have a good machine. But
but I think it's like bandwidth. It like really pulls bandwidth like crazy. Models are Minecrafty. It's a useful tool, and we're using it quite a lot, like most of us, for certain situations. But then Starjump, we featured Starjump a couple of times, if you guys remember. They do these crazy good like 3D renders of ships, like whatever, like Endeavor or Privateer and stuff like that, and it looks really good. So so the tweet,
they'll take like concept art and whatever, or like ships that aren't actually in game, and then they like, you know, use their incredible talents to make them look as if they were like a finished ship in game.
It's amazing. And so they're working on a fleet visualizer, and there's gonna be a tweet. There's nothing much in it. You can see how it looks, and it looks great. If nothing else,
looks real good.
Check the picture. Like, I mean, it's amazing. However, another parallel with Star Citizens here, just like on spot on, is this is coming potentially at the end of the year. It's like, I mean, this is so cool. I mean, I even feel like
their dates than CIG.
I even feel like they wouldn't really do this. Like, he would probably wait until, because that's what, like, he usually drops Starjump videos when they're done. Like, there's no announcements, or he mentions like we're working on ages or whatever. But like, he drops them where they're done and shiny and all that. So I kind of feel like he was like, you know what, this is Star Citizen. Maybe we should announce things, you know, like, you know, it's kind of cool. But definitely check it out.
Yeah, check it out, because like, even though it's just a screenshot right now, it's still pretty. It's still really pretty.
And Corsair looks really good on it as well. It's like
everything in there looked really
but
good.
I was kind of surprised by how good Corsair looks there.
I'm warming up to the Corsair, I'm not gonna lie.
Chorus is better anyways, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you start with the next one, man. It's like such a good and such an iffy thing for me.
Yeah, mixed bag. I mean, cool that CIG is doing this, but so the Daymar Rally is now officially in Star Citizen canon. We know that CIG has been really supportive of the Daymar Rally with their events and stuff like that, but as of this week, Xylo put out a post on Twitter showing the Galactopedia link where they're now officially in the Star Citizen canon. So that's really cool. I mean, we've talked a lot about how much we think the Daymar Rally is awesome, and it's just cool to see again, like, CIG recognize them even more by putting them actually into the game lore. So that's really cool. I
want to say, like, huge kudos to CIG to kind of entertaining this idea of adding player-based events that have a lot of success, such as Daymar Rally and what's the name, Jumptown. I think it's really, really great. However, this just opens a wound for me because I was a huge supporter of Daymar Rally, and then when Crucian actually talked about Stanton 7, I was kind of interesting because he was comparing it to Formula 1, and then he went too much into like esports ideas and whatnot. I was like, dude, this is an alpha of a game that has desync and everything, and then they start like pushing so many things, so like Lothker and all that. And now for the first time ever, I don't even know if I want to watch the Daymar Rally. It's like, it's, for me personally, it has lost its flair. I think it was so well done that you like each year you wait for it, and then you know, people start prepping for this, and then you're like, oh, do I want to join with a team or not? And then you end up being too lazy in my case, and then, you know, that day I'm gonna stream Daymar Rally and watch with our people and being happy that, you know, like Meyer made it or whatever, you know, like it's a whole event. But it was one time in a year. It's like Olympic Games, like you get pumped up for that stuff because it happens once in a while, and to me they kind of overdone it with all the other stuff. So I don't know, but
I don't really, the frequency doesn't really, oh wow, I mean, we've had a whole episode about this, but of Straight Outta Stanton, but like the frequency doesn't bother me so much, but like I still kind of stand by the conclusion we came to, where like feel like pushing the brand and like really pushing for the whole esports theme right now is premature. But
I think so as well.
I still like Daymar Rally. I like the concept, and I like that CIG's recognized them. So, you know.
I like the idea and the fact that it touches so many people in the community, and it brings the game alive, man. Like, and the fact that even before the CIG was always supporting them, like, you know, with like them being on the servers, you know, making sure to like help as much as they can. It's like not really possible to make it perfect or whatnot, but which is kind of a flavor of it as well. I want to say one thing, like Corsair is actually a dude who invented the whole thing. Now it's more in hands of Crucian, but I want to say, like, if you look at this tweet, Corsair actually replied to like almost every tweet there. I just see this guy who actually came up with the idea of Dakar Rally in our game is so beautiful, man. Like, this guy feels like he did something that's important. And he did, and really he did. Like, credit where credit is due, right? And just seeing him like enjoying the fruits, you know, is that's such a good feeling, man. Such a good feeling. So yeah.
And if you haven't actually, if you're listening to this right now and you haven't heard the interview that Yacht Club did with Corsair, they had Corsair on a Yacht Club podcast last year, I think. That's one that's worth kind of digging up. He's like genuinely a good dude, and on top of that, really intelligent and dedicated to the Daymar Rally. So yeah,
really cool stuff. Okay, so the next one, basically, thanks to Revenari for subbing a couple of videos, and we picked out two.
Okay, the first one. Oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. The first one is just like, it's just eye candy. It's like 2 minutes and 44 seconds long, and somebody basically just like took a bunch of like Star Citizen cinematic like footage and then cut it together, so it's kind of like a Battlefield, like inspired by Battlefield, kind of like a trailer. And it's just like 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Like, watch it. It's pretty. It's entertaining. It's pretty well edited. The frame drops kind of take away from it a little bit, but overall it's fun to watch. Like, it's 3 minutes. You got nothing to lose. Like,
It's
watch
this reminds me of, like, I wanted to study video editing at some point in my life, and I tried, like, I applied three years in a row and did not make it because the competition is nuts. There's only like 7 people per year, and this reminds me of one of those, like, they give you, for example, Hitchcock's movie, and they tell you, okay, make a short one out of this, and then you go home, you watch the whole movie, and you cut it into pieces and make a new story while using you know, what you already have. And yeah. I know, like, this is a little bit sidetracking, but like, for those who are into video editing, there's a very well known, like, beginning of realization of how editing important is back then in the movie industry, cinematography and all. Potemkin, the battleship Potemkin, that had, there was a whole video, you know, like the whole film about the incident in Odessa with this battleship, and it was telling one story, and then while it was transferred from one continent to another, they literally cut the track and misplaced the little, you know, like recordings and clips, and when it came to the other continent, it told a completely different story with like the same footage. So for me, like, someone just taking clips and editing that into something else, like, in general, is interesting. What is attacking you, Maso?
Oh, the cat just decided to like sprint across my desk at Mach 5 because Leah's starting to feed our pets downstairs.
I thought it's a wasp or something.
No, just a food motivated cat.
But yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing. You'll recognize all of or a lot of good CIG little videos, and yeah, just turned into something else, changed the sound effects, and it's good.
Yeah.
The other one, though, is Elite Dangerous video again.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of beating a dead horse here, like
yeah.
you said. Okay, fair enough. That's true. Like, I'll just say this then. I promise this is the last time I submit an ED refugee video. but this one was good. I don't know.
Most of them are really good. I'm not even questioning the quality of their storytelling or anything. Of course. Yeah.
I just have to point out here that this is another Dave who's really good. So this is I'm seeing a theme here. The good ED content creators are all named Dave. Is what I'm learning.
Yes.
But this one is by Dave GG, and it's just kind of like an ED content creator who, you know, was kind of you know, not super excited about Odyssey, and decided to kind of like check out this game that he had previously been on record like just shitting all over. You know, just decided to check it out, and then kind of like you get to kind of relive those wow moments, which is probably the reason that we keep putting these videos in here. But
yeah, true.
But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting perspective, not from somebody who just was an ED content creator, but from somebody who was like really actively against Star Citizen, like didn't believe in the project, you know, didn't the whole list of things, you know, listen to the whole like kind of like scam citizen narrative and blah blah blah, and then and seeing him
in the contrast, kind of, it's
and then seeing him just kind of like take his first steps and see Star Citizen as it is, and make some good comparisons. And I don't know, narration wise, it's you know, like he's easy to listen to. Yeah, it was just good. It's a little longer. It's 40 minutes, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched and listened to it today, and you know, I thought it was good. So here you go.
Something
There's a link.
that I've noticed with these ED videos is, or like Star Citizen videos from ED content creators, is like it seems to be very common for them to, you know, in Star Citizen you have a bunch of people streaming, right? Streaming the game, and then making the same people mostly, some are not, but most of the streamers are also making certain kind of content that is not really related to their streams, right? So let's say Paul streams his gameplay, right? But then he also makes Captain's Table or Galactic Historian, and then Mike does his gameplay streams, and then he does his answer the call and whatnot. ED
And his monthly or his weekly,
updates and all that.
update. Yeah.
But in ED, it seems like very common thing that you play your game and record on the side, and then voice like have your, you know, thoughts over it, and it's like much longer format. And we've seen this with, well, technically with Dave as well, but then what's the name? Who's on the
Commander Kate.
Who is actually on Captain's Table this week, and now with this guy Dave as well. Like they just like create this long form, like just bunch of gameplay in the background and then reacting to their own gameplay. It's an interesting format for sure. I'm just really not used to it because I don't feel like we have any of that in Star Citizen. I just don't feel like we have
Not
that in
really.
Star Citizen.
I mean,
Either that or they're not popular. I don't know. Like it's not.
You could kind of say that, like kind of Morph is like that, kind of.
Oh, but he's proving the point. His videos is not like an hour long or anything like that, right? It's more of like it's very scripted, and like he records for what he's doing. These guys are just, I feel like they're playing and then they're like reliving their memories and talking about it, right?
Yeah, just narrating their experiences.
Yeah.
You're right. That is a pretty unique take.
I don't. Maybe for us it is, right? Like it's not something I see in Star Citizen. Maybe other games do it. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyways,
And it'd be kind of interesting to see if it continues. You know what I mean? Like as they play Star Citizen, will they kind of like keep that same format? You know, as they become more familiar, or will it kind of like morph to a different style of storytelling? Interesting.
Let's see. I kind of feel like they're gonna, because unfortunately the fact of the matter is that Star Citizen is gonna sound wrong because we talk about fidelity all the time, but it's shallow. Like because they're still working on the systems to give the game that depth, right? So the Elite Dangerous, as much as is in a big struggle right now and all that, it's a full game, right? So I kind of feel like most of these people, especially those who live off content creation or are somewhat successful or very successful in creating content for their game, I kind of feel like they're gonna, you know, just like splash into Star Citizen waters and then probably realize that and go back. But what I hope for is that hatred between two games calms down.
Diminishes.
Because now they're gonna be like, this guy was like against SC and the whole project, but now when if he's streaming ED or, you know, making a video and someone asks about SC, he's probably gonna be like more like have a different approach to it. Be like, well, you know what, you know, like it's not like that really, or whatever. Yeah,
I should say that like that's one of the things this guy talks about in his video, is that he realizes, you know, he already, when he made this video, recognized that, you know, that SC was kind of, the gameplay as it stands right now is on the shallow side. You know, but that acknowledgement was like, you know, on the you know, comparing it to ED and stuff like that, but also kind of like acknowledging that, like, you know, that's because of the way that the game is developing, you know. So
if they stay here though, like we might have some really good videos, because, you know, if you're a long-term ED creator, ED is beautiful game, but it is repetitive and kind of tedious, so you have to be creative to stay, you know, afloat. And Star Citizen gives you tools to make good machinima and stuff like that, so let's see. Or storytelling, or, you know. Cool. All right, that's gonna do it for this week.
That's it.
That's all we got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Click on all the links in the description. Drop like, subscribes, likes, and I mean, obviously, if you enjoy the content, as always, you want to sign us off?
Sure. Well, first of all, I just actually looked at our page and we have 222 subscribers now, which is
Yes.
pretty sweet. So thank you everybody who has subscribed. We appreciate that. We're small channel, obviously, just kind of doing this for fun, but it does feel good when you see the number go up. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
If you haven't subscribed, consider it if you'd like to see more content like this. On Sunday, we also do, as Chegg mentioned, a longer form, emphasis on longer, podcast style show, and we do that live on my channel, and it'll also be out on YouTube here. So if that's something you'd like, feel free to subscribe, and there will be more. Yeah, throw us a like, and outside of that, if there is content you've seen Star Citizen related that you kind of think is awesome and want to share with us, please drop it in the comments. We're kind of always on the hunt for new stuff to watch, and we'll happily give you a shout out in the next video if it's something we think is awesome and we want to highlight. So yeah,
Especially if it's kind of unique, you know, it has its
Yeah,
own style.
yeah.
That's cool. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.
bye.